Alright, so let's do a couple of the practice problems over the exponent rules. So you're going to have 6x squared times negative 3x to the fifth. What I would do first is we don't have any power to a power, you're just simply multiplying things together. So I'm going to start with the numbers. 6 times negative 3 is negative 18. Then I'm going to move to the x's. X squared times x to the fifth. Well, remember the rule here is that we're going to add those exponents together. And 2 plus 5 is 7. So your final answer is negative 18 x to the 7th. You do not have to move the negative 18 because its exponent is positive. The number itself is allowed to be negative. All right, number 8. When I have a fraction means that we're going to divide terms. Always start with do the numbers, then the a's, then the b's. 9 divided by negative 3 is negative 3. Now, when I have a fraction, a to the third over a to the first, I'm going to subtract those exponents. 3 minus 1 is 2. So I'll negative 3a squared. And then the b's. b to the fifth over b squared. 5 minus 2 is 3. That's my final answer because none of the exponents are negative. So the final answer there is negative 3a squared b to the third. I'll look at 10 next. Again, I'm still dividing, so I'm going to divide the numbers. 22 over 2 is 11. The y's here, I'm going to subtract their exponents. 6 minus 1 is y to the fifth. And the z's, I have to be careful here. 8 minus negative 7 would be z to the 16th. My exponents are all positive now, so that can be my final answer. Oh, that's wrong. 8 to the 15th. Sorry about that. Or z to the 15th. All right, so next one here. Similar to the first one we did, number 3. You were just multiplying terms together. So I have 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. Now I'm going to multiply the n's. N to the second times n to the negative 4. Well, I'm going to add those exponents together. 2 plus a negative 4 equals negative 2. So I'll have 6n to the negative second. Now when I have a negative exponent, remember that's an unhappy exponent and he needs to move to the basement or the denominator of the fraction. So the negative 6 stays put because its exponent is positive. The n moves to the denominator. So the simplified form is negative 6 over n squared. All right, if I look at 13, we'll do 13 and 14. 13 is the rule where you're going to kind of distribute the exponent to the x and to the y. Now when you do this, you're going to multiply those powers together. So on my x's, I have negative 2 times negative 3, which is positive 6. And the y's will be 4 times negative 3, which is negative 12. Just like the last problem, x has a happy exponent. He is positive, so he's going to stay in the numerator. The y's exponent is negative. They have to move to the denominator of the fraction in order to become positive. All right, number 14. Don't go too fast here. Be careful. This is 8 times x to the 0. We know that anything to the 0 power is equal to 1. Well, that's just the x. So it's really 8 times 1, which equals 8. The whole quantity is not equal to 0. It doesn't say this. If we were in parentheses, then the whole fraction would equal 1. However, it's just the x that is raised to the 0 power. So that's 1 times the 8. All right, last one here we're going to do on the video. I'm going to kind of distribute my exponent of negative 2, but my suggestion first is that you actually simplify inside of the parentheses before you deal with the negative 2 exponent. And you'll see why it's easier. If I divide 6 divided by 3, that's 2. And the exponents here, 2 minus 1 is h to the first. Well, now it's a lot easier to distribute the exponent of negative 2. What you get when you do that, I'll write it out the long way here, will be 2 to the negative 2 power times h to the negative 2 power. Well, if I rewrite those with positive exponents, they're both going to go, they're both in the numerator right now, they're both going to go to the denominator, so I'll have 2 to the positive 2 times h to the positive 2, and replace that with a 1. And then I can simplify the 2 squared. So it'll be 1 over 4 h squared. And that is your final simplified answer. If you need more help on any of these exponent rules problems, ask your neighbor, or check the key that's posted on camera.